Do you think that is a reason men don't commit? The fear of the unknown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it's normal to
And
it's
that's in
normal to be
everything.
afraid.
That's in
The
everything.
fear of the
But is
unknown.
that why they don't commit?
I think it's a multitude of things. I think it's the fear of the unknown. I think it's the fear of what society defines a man, and you maybe feeling like you haven't achieved that status to enter something as large as a marriage. I think it's the fear of combining lives together, knowing that you can't be being independent. Sometimes it can be scary, but sometimes it can be a little bit more freeing, right? Because when you're committed, there's certain things that you have to sacrifice for that other individual, right? Also, the fear of you potentially become a dad. That's a whole other fear. So
But being a dad doesn't have to do anything with marriage.
it can though, depending on
It
what
can, but
depending on what your spouse wants to do. So if the person that you're entering into a relationship wants to have kids in a set amount
But
of years,
but that disqualifies depending on what she want to do. What about me?
but it's a exactly. So
It
that could
comes
be your
down to
fear for
sacrifice
entering
here now.
into the marriage.
What if it's not
I
a fear?
think-
What if
think
it's just
the way it would
I want to be?
depending on your mindset. Because if you have in your mind that I don't want to have a child out of wedlock, then if someone gets married, if someone gets pregnant, if the lady always gets pregnant, you're gonna be okay. I have to go marry her because I don't want to have a child out of wedlock. I want to have a child married.
But that's
Some
forceful marriage
people-
now.
That's what I'm saying. It depends
So
on your mind. If that's
if-
your mindset, then you're going to want to you're going to
But
rush to do that.
there's more likely that marriage will not last. Because now I don't love you. I just married you because there was a baby.
But if you're with, I mean, yeah.
But that's when you come into a marriage. One thing we have to understand is every person in that marriage is going to have their own wants and desires. For women's, they're on a biological clock.
True.
Right? For men, no. Right?
Sky's
Not
the limit,
necessarily.
man. Sky's the limit,
Not
mama.
necessarily, right? So if you say, for example, you marry a little bit later and your
Yeah.
spouse is a little bit older, then that conversation quickens, right?
Yeah.
But what
So
if it's
then
not a
that
fear?
could be a fear if you're still not ready to become a father. That's one of the fears for, you know what? Maybe marriage isn't for me.
But
right
what if
now.
it's not a fear? What if it's she wants to have a kid because she's on her biological clock, but I want to wait to have a kid because I want to be financially stable.
That's still a fear.
It's not a fear.
It is.
Fear that you won't be able to provide.
I get what you mean. I
know
get
what
what
I
you
mean?
mean. But
So-
see, but I think I don't think it's a fear. I think it's a responsibility.
It's a concern.
Yeah.
It's a concern, but it's still in the back of your head. Like, what if that child pops out and I can't be the father I know I want to be because I'm not ready?
That's the unknown.
That's the unknown.